Selma Blair's story is one of profound courage, a testament to the human spirit's ability to find light even in the midst of unrelenting darkness. For years, the acclaimed actress, known for her captivating performances in films like Legally Blonde and Cruel Intentions, has been navigating the unpredictable waters of multiple sclerosis, a chronic autoimmune disease that attacks the central nervous system. Diagnosed in 2018, Blair's battle has not only reshaped her physical world but has also transformed her outlook on life, turning what could have been a narrative of despair into one of unexpected fortune and fierce advocacy. In recent reflections, she has openly shared how she feels lucky amidst this ongoing struggle, a sentiment that underscores her remarkable resilience and the strides she has made in managing her condition. The journey began subtly, almost imperceptibly, weaving itself into the fabric of Blair's life long before the official diagnosis. As a child, she experienced her first brush with what would later be identified as symptoms of juvenile multiple sclerosis. At around 7 years old, an episode of optic neuritis, a sudden inflammation of the optic nerve, left her with a lazy eye, a lingering remnant of nerve damage that doctors at the time failed to connect to a larger pattern. This early incident, dismissed as a minor anomaly, was just the prelude to a lifetime of overlooked signs. Blair would go on to build a stellar career in Hollywood, charming audiences with her wit and vulnerability on screen, all while her body quietly waged an internal war. Fatigue, unexplained pains, and cognitive fog became unwelcome companions, often brushed off by medical professionals as stress or overwork in the high-pressure world of acting. It wasn't until adulthood that the puzzle pieces began to align. In the years leading up to 2018, Blair's symptoms intensified, episodes of vertigo that left her stumbling on set, numbness that crept through her limbs like an uninvited shadow, and a persistent exhaustion that no amount of rest could alleviate. Friends and colleagues noticed the changes, the way her once vibrant energy seemed dimmed, the subtle tremors in her hands during interviews. Yet time and again her concerns were met with skepticism. "You're too young for this," she recalls being told, or, "It's probably just anxiety from the industry." The dismissal stung, amplifying her isolation. Multiple sclerosis, often misunderstood and underdiagnosed, especially in women, thrives in such shadows, its relapsing remitting nature making it a master of deception. One day functionality returns, the next, it vanishes without warning. The turning point came in October 2018, when Blair chose vulnerability over silence. In an emotional Instagram post that resonated with millions, she revealed her diagnosis of relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis. The video, raw and unfiltered, showed her bald from chemotherapy treatments, a proactive measure to combat the disease's progression, and her voice trembled with a mix of fear and defiance. "I have MS," she said simply, her words cutting through the glamour of her public persona. "It's not a secret anymore. I am in the best place I could be." This moment of disclosure was more than a personal catharsis. It was a beacon for others grappling in silence. Overnight, Blair became a symbol of empowerment, her story igniting conversations about invisible illnesses and the systemic gaps in healthcare that leave so many undiagnosed. Since that revelation, Blair's path has been marked by both triumphs and trials. She stepped away from acting temporarily, focusing instead on treatment regimens that included disease-modifying therapies designed to slow the progression of MS. These medications, often administered via injections or infusions, come with their own side effects: nausea, flu-like symptoms, and a constant dance with hope and uncertainty. Yet, Blair approached this phase with characteristic humor and grace, documenting her experiences through social media and her 2022 memoir Mean Baby, a memoir of growing up. In its pages, she delves deep into her childhood quirks, her Hollywood highs and lows, and the visceral reality of living with MS. The book isn't a pity party, it's a celebration of quirks, the Mean Baby moniker stemming from her intense infant stare, and a call to arms against stigma. "MS doesn't define me," she writes, "but it does refine me." Today at 53, Blair stands as a beacon of progress. In a candid interview, she shared the profound relief of being relapse-free for several years, a milestone that feels like a hard-won victory. "This means the world to me that I'm not, at this moment, accumulating more damage in my brain," she expressed, her words laced with a quiet awe. The concept of neuroplasticity has become her North Star, the brain's extraordinary ability to rewire itself, forming new neural pathways to compensate for damage. Blair has embraced this through rigorous physical therapy, mindfulness practices, and even experimental treatments that push the boundaries of what's possible. She's not just surviving, she's thriving in ways she never imagined. Mornings now include gentle yoga flows tailored to her mobility needs, afternoons spent advocating at health summits, and evenings with her son, Arthur, who has been her unwavering anchor since his birth in 2011. But gratitude doesn't erase the challenges. MS is a shapeshifter, with symptoms that can flare unpredictably, spasticity that tightens muscles like invisible ropes, bladder issues that demand meticulous planning, and the ever-present specter of cognitive decline. Blair speaks candidly about the emotional toll, the frustration of cancelled plans, the grief for the body she once took for granted, and the societal whispers that equate illness with weakness. Everyone's experience with MS is different, she acknowledges, recognizing the spectrum from mild to debilitating. For some, it's a wheelchair-bound existence, for others, a subtle undercurrent. Blair's luck stems from her access to top-tier care, a supportive network, and a platform that amplifies her voice. She uses it unapologetically, her big mouth, a weapon against stigma. At events like the Flow Space Women's Health Summit, she recounts how early symptoms were missed throughout her life, schoolyard clumsiness chalked up to tomboyishness, career slumps blamed on burnout. There were a lot of things missed my whole life, she reflected, turning personal pain into public education. This advocacy extends beyond words. Blair has partnered with organizations like the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, lending her celebrity to fundraisers and awareness campaigns. She's walked, sometimes with a cane, in MS charity events, her steps a symbol of solidarity. In Hollywood, where appearances often trump authenticity, her openness has inspired a ripple effect. Co-stars like Sarah Michelle Gellar have shared their own health journeys, and producers are increasingly mindful of accommodations on set. Blair's return to acting, albeit selectively, signals her refusal to fade. Roles in projects like The Forgiven and voice work in animations allow her to contribute without overtaxing her energy, proving that talent endures.